Viewers, welcome again to another episode. Today, we will be working on world history. Wherever you are, in Europe, in America, in Cameroon, or other parts of Africa, you are highly welcome into Benjamin Academy. As today, we will be looking at session D in world history. As an advanced level student, for those who want to write advanced level history this year, we will be working on the first topic in session D in paper 3 history, which is the League of Nations and collective security. But we will first of all work on the League of Nations first before we come to failure of collective security. The League of Nations, as we may say or define, it was an international organization that was formed in 1919. But it started when operational on the 10th of January 1920. Before the League of Nations was formed as an international organization, European nations tried to maintain peace in Europe from 1815 through the Congress system by holding congresses like the Congress of Vienna, the Congress of Aix-la-Chapelle, the Congress of Verona and Swappo. This Congress system, because of the personal aggrandizement of the members of the Congresses like Prince Metternich, the Congress system could not succeed. It has to fail. So when the Congress system failed, the world leaders, after the First World War, the victorious nation had to come out with the idea of an international organization which was proposed by the American President Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson was American president at the end of the First World War. When the First World War came to an end, Woodrow Wilson, together with David Lloyd George, who was the Prime Minister of Britain, George Clemenceau, the Prime Minister of France, Vittorio Orlando, the Prime Minister of Italy, and the delegation came from Japan and China in Asia, met in Paris in the Paris Peace Settlement in order to sign treaties against the losers of the First World War, which were Germany, Turkey, Bulgaria, Austria. In the Paris Peace Settlement, Woodrow Wilson came out with 14-point agenda, and the number 14 of the 14-point agenda he wrote was that an international organization should be formed to maintain peace in the world. Since the First World War occurred because there was no international organization, because the Congress system, as I earlier said, has failed, there was therefore the need for the League of Nations to be formed. And I said the League of Nations was proposed in 1919. On the 10th of January 1920, the League of Nations was inaugurated in Geneva, Switzerland. Now, that was the capital of the League of where the League of Nations was formed. Now, let's ask ourselves a question. What were the aims and objectives of the League of Nations? Normally, an organization of this magnitude could not just be formed without its objectives. The founders of the League of Nations thought it necessary to form it because of the following objectives or aims. These are the aims or the objectives for the formation of the League of Nations. 1. The League of Nations was formed as an international organization so as to maintain peace and security in the world. The League was formed so that members of the League of Nations could maintain peace and security through collective effort or collective security. That means the members from the League, so that if an aggressor attacked a country who's a member of the League, all the other members join the country that was attacked to defeat the aggressor. So the League main aim was to maintain peace and security in the world. Maintain peace and security. The second reason why the League of Nations was formed, it was because there was a need for the League of Nations to follow up universal disarmament. To encourage universal disarmament. Universal disarmament, we are talking about European nations reducing the size of their military soldiers as well as stop producing military equipment such as tanks, zeppelins, dreadnoughts, whom Germany and the other European nations produced that contributed to the outbreak of the First World War. Again, another objective or aim of the League of Nations was that the League of Nations was formed to promote the respect for international law, as well as treaties that were signed at the end of the First World War, such as the Treaty of Versailles that was signed against Germany, the Treaty of Saint-Germain that was signed against Austria, the Treaty of Neuilly that was signed against Bulgaria, the Treaty of Chinon that was signed against Hungary, as well as the Treaty of Sèvres and Lausanne that was signed against Turkey. So the League of Nations was formed to promote the respect for international law as well as to respect treaties that were signed at the end of the First World War, because it was through the League that they was going to follow if the losers of the war were respecting the terms of the treaties. Again, the League of Nations was formed so as to encourage or to promote international cooperation. The League was formed to promote international cooperation in the social domain, social, economic, cultural, and humanitarian among the countries in the world. Another reason again, or aim, why the leaders from the League of Nations was because there was the need to promote the working conditions of workers and living conditions. Workers' working conditions all over the world were to be improved through agencies of the League of Nations like the ILO, which was the International Labour Organization. So the League of Nations was formed to promote or improve on the working and living conditions of workers through agencies like International Labour. Again, we move further. The League of Nations was formed in order to prevent the free circulation of drugs all over the world. Drugs such as opium, cocaine, and the rest, to prevent their circulation from one country to another. The League again was formed as an organization to put an end to slavery and slave trade in West Africa. The League of Nations again further was formed so as to administer former German colonies and other colonies of the losers of the First World War as mandated territories.